Welcome to Change Now. This panel on, we're going to be thinking, as I mentioned, about moving goods around, okay? You have three experts here. Can you each please rapidly introduce your company by telling us about a new solution that you've implemented to improve goods transport? And Emma, I'm going to come straight to you first.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be there. Yes, I think you all know IKEA, I think the brand, the company, so I will maybe save time in not explaining what it is about. But what I would like to share with you is that we are in the middle of a huge transformation. We are moving from brick and mortar retailing to a complete omni-channel sales scheme. And we have accelerated a lot the online sales, and that's great. But that means also that we are sending more and more trucks on the roads. And this specific point has raised a question to us. How can we continue to grow and to develop the activities while reducing our impact on the environment? And this, of course, is a key question. So we have been reflecting on mobility, especially in these big cities like Paris, where we have density. And we had this kind of crazy idea. Why don't we use the river, La Seine, to deliver the customers in Paris? So we have been through this idea, getting to our project, and now it's up and running. Since December, we are delivering every day customers in Paris. So in this concrete way to deliver the customers, we prepare the goods outside of Paris in a distribution center. Then we fill the containers, we put the containers on the gate, then the boat is going to Paris, and every day, every early morning, we can unload the boat and bring the containers, place them on EV trucks directly to go to the customers in Paris. And some figures about that, I think it's interesting. It's 300 customers in average per day that we are delivering. So after 5 months, we are able to deliver 75% of all the customers in Paris with the river.
Fantastic. So if you're shopping on IKEA here in Paris, your bed or your chair or your table may be being delivered by boat.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma. David, how about yourself? A solution that you've implemented?
Yeah, so thank you for the invite. I'm very pleased to be here with you. So HYVIA is our reason to be is carbon-free mobility for light commercial. So it's basically our customers are people from Geopost or IKEA, and the intent is replace diesel or vehicles which would emit about 60 tons of CO2. When we shift to hydrogen, that's the saving we do for the planet for each vehicle, 62 tons. So that's the what. How we do it with a unique offer. We have the vehicles, the Renault Master H2 Tech, with the ecosystem of the hydrogen, meaning the recharging station, the green hydrogen, and the electrolyzer. How? It's we are the joint venture between Renault Group, most people here know about Renault, and Plug, who is the world leader on fuel cell solutions.
Fantastic, thank you. And Jean-Claude, you're moving around hundreds and thousands of parcels on a daily basis. Can you tell us about a solution you've implemented?
Yes, indeed. We operate one of the largest parcel delivery network in Europe. And actually, as a transport company, we know that we are part of the problem, but we ambition also to be part of the solution. And that's why we have an ambitious plan of decarbonation. Actually, the objective for us is to decarbonate our business by 90% by 2040. So it's an SBTi trajectory, which is super ambitious, but it's a trajectory. So let's talk about some projects, some milestones that could be interesting to share with you. And one of them is really interesting. We have the project to deliver the 350 biggest cities in Europe with low emission means by 2025. So it's an interesting project because it's not just, removing diesel van on the streets and replacing them by EVs. It's much more than this. It requires really to rethink your process, rethink the way you organize your delivery in the city centers, because usually we have hubs in the suburbs and then we inject plenty of vans into the city centers. With this project, it's completely different. It's investing in small hubs, urban depots in the city centers so that we can deliver consumers with alternative meals electric vehicles, but also cargo bikes, delivering by food, and it helps to reduce the congestion. It helps to reduce, of course, the CO2 emissions, but also the local pollutants. So we are now in the middle of the journey. We already have deployed 100 cities in Europe, and by 2025, that will represent globally more than 20% of the European population serviced with this new way of delivering parcels.
Okay, so all three of you are working on and, in fact, implementing solutions that are not just sort of the one part, but you're working on the entire chain through. This is incredibly complex, okay? When you're putting into place new solutions like this, you're going to come up against some challenges. I want each of you now, please, to share with the audience how you've overcome one of these challenges and maybe what you've experienced in turning the idea into a reality. David, and yourself and with hydrogen, go ahead. Tell us your challenges.
So when we talk about hydrogen, so hydrogen is nothing new. It's a technology that has been existing for a very long time, but going industrial, that's the game changer for us. So obviously today we are a small series, and small series approach is like sports car, it's expensive. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest challenge we have today. So we are working with the team and partners to find solutions to scale up, because every time we talk with such partners, we see the potential, as Jean-Claude was describing. There is a need because the cities are closing down to thermal engines. So with that, we forecast a drastic drop in cost in the coming years. And that's very fast. I've been working in the automotive for 25 years. What we foresee is tremendous. So it's really motivating. The second challenge we have is obviously the recharging infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And for that, we are working with partners to develop around Paris and other areas public recharging station. And HYVIA is capable also of providing private refueling station for the customer who have a captive fleet.
So the scale and the infrastructure to support that
Absolutely.
scale as such. Emma, how about yourself? Challenges when you come up with a great idea like boats. How do you know that it's a great idea?
Yeah, I can tell you we have been facing some challenges, of course, and we, I mean, IKEA is a retailer. We are not expert in navigation, so it's, yeah, it was a great journey, but I think the belief was stronger than all these doubts and complexity. Maybe two things. The first one is river transportation means more activities and operators, because with a truck, you can prepare the goods, put that in a truck, and you deliver it to the customer. And here, we need to prepare the goods, fill the container, bring the container to the water, boat, unloading, go to the customers, and all the backflow. So all these activities with different operators need to be coordinated in a time slot very precise. So this brings complexity, but we did many reflection, many testing, and this is now working, so it's great. And maybe the second challenge is we need to have the right area from a land perspective. We need to have the distribution center close to the water, connected to the river, of course. We need space on the gates, you know, to do these activities. And we also need space to recharge the EV trucks, like you say. So these are the challenges we have been facing.
Yeah, that's pretty complex, all the parts of the chain. And in fact, you've been injecting more complexity into your chain in order to bring your emissions down then.
Complexity, but at the end we knew that this idea was great, and so we stayed, you know, I saw that somewhere, and never give up. I think it's because the idea was good, because we believed in that. Mm-hmm. We said, okay, we will find a way, because at the end we are removing 300,000 kilometers from the roads every year with that solution, and we are able to deliver the customers with EV trucks. So it's overall it's a great, despite the complexity, we managed.
And Jean-Claude, you're working with hundreds of other partners and actors. We know that sometimes when you create a change or you bring about a change, a new solution, that might have an impact beyond your organization also. Can you tell us about what you're doing to help address the need for really precise data on air quality and pollution?
Yes, absolutely, because we talked about our own organization and the challenge it represents to make them evolve. But we can also contribute beyond our own value chain, and that's what we've decided to do with this air quality monitoring program we have launched a few years ago. The principle is very simple, I would say. We have now electric vans in the cities. So we equip them with sensors that measure the local pollutants. And this information is key, because for the local authorities, knowing precisely what is the level of pollution every second. We measure it every second. Knowing the level of pollution, it's extremely important for them to deploy the right policies to improve the situation in the city center.
So you're real-time capturing the air
quality. It's real-time. Every second, we measure the local pollutants, the PM 2.5 for the experts, which are the most dangerous ones. So we measure this. And this information is freely shared with the local authorities, with universities. For instance, in Dublin, we work with the Dublin Council, University Asthma Society of Ireland, so that we hope this information is valuable. We know it's valuable, and it helps others to take the right decision to improve the pollution situation in these cities. And today, this program is already deployed in 28 cities in Europe.
Fantastic. Yeah, the more data that we can capture on the air, and the better that we can react and find great solutions. Now, each of you is serving customers, be they businesses or individuals, and these customers' behaviors and their needs, their habits can play an important role in the adoption of some of these quite radical new solutions that you're rolling out. Can you give us some examples of mindset behavior change that are needed in order to help you to go even further in reducing carbon emissions? David, how about yourself?
Yeah, so first of all, when we go to hydrogen, our first objective is to answer those customer needs. So they need a van that goes everywhere and with extended range. And the advantage of hydrogen is a quick refill. So in 5 minutes, you can refill and start again your mission. But what we see now is because of the scarcity of the refueling station, we start to create some ecosystem. So we put one station here, and then we have IKEA, Geopost, and other, and the discussion around those spots is very positive and very dynamic. We are really pioneer there, and we see ecosystem growing in different regions in France, but also other countries.
Fantastic. So collaboration is needed to help you rapidly move forward. Emma, how about yourself? Your customers' needs, your customers' behaviors, what shift is going to need to happen there in order for you to go further?
Yeah, it's interesting because we can see the consumer behaviors. We know that on one hand, they really enjoy to get the products in a fast way. You know, you place the order, you pay, and you want to have your product. I mean, we are all consumers here, so we know what it is. On the other hand, we see that they are more and more concerned about the climate change and the risk we have in front of us. So coming back to the river transportation, it's not a fast transport because we cannot, it's comparing to the truck, we cannot deliver within 2 hours. The process is longer. So that means we need to accept that the lead time is not 2 hours, it's not half a day, it's probably 2 days after the order. So this is probably something that will have to change, but we have started in December and we do not see complaining about that. So I think behavior is changing. It's okay to wait a little bit more because it's better overall for the planet.
Definitely. Maybe I can track my next IKEA purchase coming down the river and know that it's going slowly, but why it's going slowly also.
Navigating. Your products are navigating.
Jean-Claude, how about yourself? Challenges in your consumer behavior and customer behavior?
Yeah, when it comes to consumer, maybe something to be shared with you, because every year we survey more than 20,000 e-shoppers in Europe. And what they say about sustainability is, first of all, we expect you as a company to do the job. That's the first point. So we have a huge responsibility. So that's why our role is to provide them with new services, new convenience, to help them be more active in terms of sustainability. And that's, for instance, an initiative we're going to launch in few weeks in Madrid. And it's the same kind of topic, because it's to say, okay, if you as an e-shopper, you receive more than 5 or 10 parcels a week, what does it mean? It means that 5 times or 10 times a week, a van will come to your home and deliver a parcel. So the service we're going to launch is giving them the opportunity to consolidate all their parcels in one place, in our local premises, and then give them the opportunity to trigger a consolidated delivery at the time slot of their choice, so that we can only come once or twice a week to deliver all that parcels. So it's, again, something like you said, trying to slow down a little bit the delivery process to be more sustainable at the end, but giving an additional convenience to them, because they will have the opportunity to select the time slot of their delivery. So it's a kind of initiative that could help consumers to move the right way.
It's fantastic. So kind of a parcel concierge service and wrapping up. I quite like that idea. I could probably use that. You three experts have years of experience in trying to reduce carbon emissions and looking at how we can move parcel and goods around. What have we not mentioned? What are the important learnings that I've not yet asked you about that we want to share with our audience here that you think are needed for us to go one step further? David?
Well, obviously, to do all the innovation we're doing, we need people, we need competencies, and basically we need people who know about hydrogen. And obviously, this is something that we are lacking. So we are working with universities to develop this know-how. We are working also with the Renault after-sales network, where we're upskilling, and basically this really changes the perspective of doing after sales of a car. You go from a rotary phone to an iPhone 14 when we bring a fuel cell vehicle in the shop.
Okay, so skills, training, competencies. Emma?
Well, I would like to answer that the first learning is that it works. It works to use the river to deliver the customers in Paris. No, I think we need to be very humble, and this is a really collective success. As I said, we are not experts, we are retailers. So we have been working with a lot of different partners. I will not start to mention them because I have a long list, but we really need the support from the experts, and it's really together that we manage that. So it's a great achievement. We would not manage alone. So this is the main learning. If we want to innovate and move things like that, we need to work together.
Partnerships and going outside of your organization also to find some of those skills and talents that David was just talking about. Jean-Claude, how about yourself?
Definitely ambition and pragmatism, of course, but I fully agree with Emma. Humility is certainly something that is necessary, because when it comes to decarbonation, more specifically, we know that all the technologies are not mature yet, affordable or whatever. So we need also to test and learn, and I would say walk the walk, because it's a testing and learning process. So humility and transparency as well, which is important because consumers expect us to be perfect. It's difficult to be perfect, and we are not perfect. But if we are transparent, if we explain exactly what we do transparently, it helps also, in my opinion, to make things happen maybe faster.
Definitely. You're reminding me of a quote that says, if you try, you may not be perfect and you may fail, but if you don't try, you will always fail. And I think what we're seeing here with some great examples of success in what you guys are trying to do. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here with us. David from HYVIA, Emma from IKEA, and Jean-Claude from Geopost. Thank you so much.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much.
Merci.